Hoi hoi, and welcome to my second Let's Play of a game that bears the title Gothic II. And this is actually my favorite game of all times. Why? Because, okay, let's summarize this. Firstly, because of the characters, because there are so many lovely and individual characters that run around, mind their own business, and make this whole Gothic world really a breathing world, so that you actually believe that this could exist and that this could work actually. Yeah, the world design is really fantastic. It's so there's so much detail and you can explore so much, and how it looks like the looks, it's just awesome. And the music that you can, for example, hear in the background just now, it creates such a dark and intense but also magical atmosphere that you really want to get into. So yeah, that's why I just love this game, and why I was so looking forward to doing this right from the beginning. When I started doing Let's Plays, I always thought about doing this particular game because it's my favorite. Okay, first things first, you probably know from my Thief Let's Play that I talk a bit too much in the beginning of games, because I always have the feeling that I have to explain a lot regarding this game for those of you who don't know it. So yeah, I kind of minimize these things that I have to say before starting to three things. First, the title Gothic II suggests that this is the second part in the Gothic series. There are all in all 4 parts. I never played Gothic 4 because it's horrible, that's what I read. Just as was the third part, which I tried, but I didn't manage to get far. But the first 2 parts, Gothic 1 and Gothic 2, they are just awesome. I love them. They are incredibly beautiful and nice. So they are basically my 2 favorite games. But if you have never played Gothic 1, then it doesn't really matter that much if you want to play Gothic 2, because the setting, the story is kind of cut off. There are some connections. For example, you meet certain characters that you know from the first game, but you always have the choice to click on an option in the dialogue that you can't remember the person, and that you would find it really nice if that person would, introduce themselves nearly to you. So that's pretty cool. There are some connections, as I said, to the first part regarding the story. Especially in the beginning, there is a lot of flashbacks and a lot of talking about the events in the first Gothic part. But yeah, it doesn't really matter that much, because what matters for Gothic 2 is explained within the dialogues. Apart from that, where it is necessary to know something about Gothic 1, I will explain it, of course, but apart from that, I will actually pretend that my character lost his memory in the events at the end of Gothic 1. As you will see in the upcoming cutscene, we defeated a big boss monster type of thing, and some archdemon stuff, and we were buried underground in this process. So yeah, we kind of lost our memory in that process. So we remember certain things. Some names, some faces, but not much. So that's the reason why we kind of start freshly in this game. That was number 1. Number 2, strongly connected to number 1, is that this Let's Play will actually be a roleplay. Yes, I will try to do so. I have no idea how it will work out for this game, because you have quite a number of possibilities to create the character your own way to make it to make the character stronger or more dexterous or more like the mage type, and you can decide whether to kill this monster or to spare that dude and so on. But it doesn't really have the freedom of choice that like modern RPGs offer, like Mass Effect or something, where every single option in a dialogue have huge consequences on the story. So you cannot influence the story. You can influence how certain characters react to you in the game, certain NPCs, but you cannot really influence the story. That's all set. So I don't know how this role-playing thing works out, and I won't tell you just now how I will roleplay this. I have a certain image in mind, but yeah, I will tell you about that when it's time. Alright, and the third point is I want to say something about the technical aspects. This game, Gothic 2, is like about 10 years old now, which is quite old, sadly, for a computer game. So yeah, as you can see, the graphics aren't that high. I think my frames won't be more than 30. So it's not pretty, no, we cannot say that. But I still like it. I still like it, like the Thief games. It's not pretty, but I like it. Alright? Also, I had some difficulties with fraps and the cutscenes. Fraps wouldn't record the cutscenes, there was only blackness. So I searched for another way, and the only way to record the cutscenes is making them smaller, like you have seen in the beginning of this video. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't make it any bigger. So I hope you can live with it. If not, I'm deeply sorry. The last thing about the technical aspects is that this game will probably be played only with the keyboard. You can play it with your mouse, but I would have to change some of the settings, and it's not the right feeling, because Gothic 1 is, I think, entirely played with the keyboard, and in Gothic 2 you have the choice whether you want to involve the mouse or not. And since I always play with the you know, the ancient, the traditional Gothic settings, I will play only with the keyboard. So if you think that I'm moving kind of like a robot, and I'm not really that free in my actions and my movements, that's because I don't use the mouse often. Alright, that's that. I wished I could tell you that was enough of the explanation in the beginning, but yeah, in the beginning of this game there will be a lot of talking, and as I said, a lot of talking about the events at the end of Gothic 1, so there will be a lot more explaining to do during the upcoming dialogue. But first of all, we will start a new game and enjoy the cutscene that will commence in 1 second.
A single prisoner altered the fate of hundreds, but he paid a high price for it. He defeated the sleeper, destroyed the barrier, But while all the other prisoners escaped, he remained behind in the rubble. It was I who dispatched him against the sleeper. Now it is I who brings him back from there. He is weak and has forgotten much. But he is alive. He's back. Finally, I've been trying to bring you here for days.
I felt like I spent 3 days lying under a load of rocks.
Well, so you did. Only the magic within your armor kept you alive. But enough of this. You're bound to get all your strength back.
At least we have enough time now. I did it. The sleeper
Has been banned. You vanquished him, so much is true. But it's not within our power to stop the war that ensues now.
You're talking about the orcs?
I am talking about much more terrible creatures. With his final furious scream, the sleeper has set into movement the armies of darkness. It was an order to all evil creatures, a word of power that they were all bound to obey. His last order was, "Come," and they came, all of them, even the dragons.
Dragons?
They are creatures of an ancient power. I can sense their presence, even here. And they have gathered an entire army of lowly servant creatures around them.
Where's this army now?
The army is camped not far from here, in the Valley of Mines near Corinus, and they're getting ready to attack. We do not have much time left.
As I was saying, a lot of talk in here. Anyway, this dude right in front of us, on the right side of the screen, just to make this clear. On the left side of the screen, that is our character, and on the right side of the screen, that dude with the robe is Zardis. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his name, but I think it's Zardis. And he is, as you can see from the colors of his robe, he's like a dark mage, but he helped us defeat the sleeper, the big arc demon. So he's kind of like our friend, our buddy. He supported us, so I like him. Thanks, dude. And also he saved us from the rebel, you know, after 13 days. So yeah, we're kind of, yeah, we owe him, so to say. Now, what I don't like about this game, and that's basically the biggest thing that I don't like about this game, is that it immediately starts with confronting you with the big main problem of the game, with the dragons and this orc army and army of evil darkness, I don't know. And in contrast to that, in Gothic 1, you had the freedom to just explore the world in the first chapters. Just run around, make friends and enemies, pick up stuff, level up, join a faction, and so on. While in this, you know right from the beginning who's the enemy, where to go to defeat him, and how to defeat him. And the whole game is just about how to get there, how to accomplish this. That's what I don't like. So you don't really have the feeling of being free in the beginning in your choices. Yeah, that's basically the only thing I dislike about this game. And to talk a bit more, I'm sorry, I'm so deeply sorry, but I have the feeling that I have to explain this. As we've seen in the video, there was this big monster called the Sleeper, a giant demon, which is the main enemy in Gothic 1. Funny story, actually when I played Gothic 1 for the first time, I joined the faction that actually supported the Sleeper in the beginning, because I didn't know about the gods in this game, and I thought the Sleeper was like the main god of the Gothic world. And I thought, yeah, let's support him, because it can't be bad, right? And that was quite a shock for me, actually, to find out that he was the main villain, and I had to destroy him. That was quite a shaming for me, I admit. Anyway, by killing the sleeper, we destroyed a magical barrier that imprisoned us and several other prisoners that were captured inside the so-called Valley of Mines. We will learn a bit more about the geography just in a few minutes. And yeah, ever since that happened, all the prisoners of course got free and are now